The following radio program you're about to listen to is provided to you, the listener, by Inked Geek Studios. Get this and other great shows at inkedgeekstudios.com. All Geeked Up is brought to you by the Inked Geek Studios t-shirt. Get yours today at tiny.cc/igswag.
It's all geeked up. No one did an intro. I'm doing an intro. Hello, welcome to All Geeked Up, your bloviation station. If you're watching live, you're here in the fog.
We should have talked about that before we went live, huh?
No, we had technical difficulties like we always do. I'll just do that was awesome intro. Your podcast is set for 1 hour. I'll do it.
You said you were going to do it.
You're supposed to chime in. This podcast is set for 1 hour.
I was not informed.
Coming to the mic, it's Nate Ward. After a restart, we've restarted and we're here.
You know, it's funny you did the wrestling thing because the restart. That almost ties in tandem with the delete,
Delete.
which is really goddamn annoying.
Yes, it is. You know what else is sort of annoying but sort of good that I watched all of last night was the Battlestar Galactica miniseries, and then I had nightmares about it. I don't usually have nightmares, especially when it comes to sci-fi.
I'm gonna have nightmares about having to watch it.
Oh man. I dreamt that it was weird. I dreamt Chrissy was a Cylon because in the miniseries, the Cylons look like humans now, and they're like infiltrator units. And she started praying to some Cylon god, which I don't think is a thing in the show, but I was kind of in and out.
Okay. I found something on the web first. The files look like humans out.
Siri is a Cylon. Nightmares are coming
It
true.
throws me because your Siri is a dude, and that's weird.
I know.
Mine is a sassy Australian chick.
Well, I think of like Alfred, right? Or Jarvis, you know? So anyway, Chrissy wakes up and she's a Cylon. And for some reason her skin is purple and red and just red eyes, like a Cylon. It scared the hell out of me. And my door was open. I usually sleep with the door shut. Freaked me out. See, I'm dying from fright. So, what's up?
Oh, I don't know. You know, we missed the show last week. We had an impromptu, like, little 20-minute episode on Friday because of some scheduling conflicts. But
You know what we had during that? Technical difficulties.
yeah, which fortunately none of those are plaguing us today.
No.
I just want to give Mike TV another big shout out for being such a trooper with that. And Corey even commented or tweeted at it. He's like, it seemed really cool how like we all just kind of rolled with the punches.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So it added some personality to the show.
So, can you pull something up and play it? Because I want to send it to Mike TV and have him write a song about it. So can you play some audio for me once you find it? Is that something you can do?
I can just play it through the mic from my phone.
You can do that. Okay, go to YouTube and type in the town of Dildo. Yes.
Okay.
There's a town in Canada called Dildo, and the citizens want to change the name, but it's a whole argument as to whether or not they should. And I would like him to write a song about whether or not to change the name.
About 1,000 people live in this little fishing village on Trinity Bay. It's similar to hundreds of other villages on Newfoundland's east coast, except for one thing: its name. It's called dildo, a word that has come to mean an artificial penis. And the name has started a big debate here. The name actually attracts some people to this town. Tourists have been known to come here only to have their picture taken standing beside this sign. The Spanish were the first to settle here, and it's thought dildo might be an old Spanish family name, but no one is sure. What Robert
El
Elford
Dildo
is sure about is that the name has become embarrassing. For the past week, he's been knocking on doors in Dildo with a petition to change the town's name. Most people are signing up.
So we want him to write a song about the town of Dildo.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I want to go there. I have a feeling the town's full of dicks.
That's funny. You're hilarious.
I like that it's an artificial penis.
Basically, it becomes a fight between the younger generation and the older generation. The younger ones are obviously in on the joke of dildo, whereas the old ones are like, well, historically, it's dildo. It is what it is, and we should have pride in it. Take pride in your dildo.
I know people who do.
As do I. As do I. Do you think there's a lot of squirters in that town? Splooge. So anyway, yeah.
I don't know, but I have a feeling their restaurants are quite filling.
If I could see a crowdsourced funny song about dildo, that would be great. So what else is new? You told me about some WoW news.
Yeah, so Battle for Azeroth pre-orders went live yesterday.
Wow.
You can get the
See what I did there?
You can get the base edition for $40 or the collectors for $70. If you pre-order, it unlocks. I need to scooch over on the camera a little bit here.
Get close.
If you pre-order, it unlocks the ability to go through the quest line to unlock the allied races. That has been an issue because what they did not do with the pre-order was give people their additional character slots. So people are full and want to make allied races on their servers, but have no slots. So Blizzard tweeted out yesterday afternoon and said they are working on getting everybody the additional character slots as soon as possible. So that means, I'm assuming that means today or tomorrow.
So if I'm just barely in Argus at this point, how far would I have to go to get to a point where I could play that quest line? Or could I skip ahead?
All you have to do is be 110.
That's all?
Yeah. 110. You can boost. Pre-order comes with a boost. You can boost the allied race, but the allied races get this badass racially themed armor, and you don't get it if you boost.
I see. So what are the allied races?
I don't know.
Okay. Who, I should say.
I know in the chat, Amy was excited about the allied races. So hold on, we're talking about dildo again. Let me pause that video.
Oh, you can never forget dildo.
Battle for Azeroth, allied races. So I know Amy might know one or two, or all of them. But I haven't really paid much attention because, okay, so here you go. You get the High Mountain Tauren, which actually I'm excited about because it's Tauren with antlers as opposed to cow horns.
Yeah, I remember Scott talking about that.
So they look pretty badass.
Here's what I will say about our new setup while we're doing this. I do miss having my iPad in front of me.
Yeah,
and I still could, but it's kind of a...
Yeah, it's a reach. We get the Lightforged Draenei. I don't play Alliance. I don't care. But they're just more paladin-y looking Draenei.
Yeah.
We get the Nightborn, which are basically like dark-skinned night elves for the Horde.
The problem is I don't care because I'm going to play a human.
Yeah. Void Elves.
That's cool.
Which is kind of like dark-skinned blood elves for the Alliance. Because they're the Alliance. So that's it right now. It's 2 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 2 and 2. There's supposed to be more coming. They're like supposed to be like Dark Iron Dwarfs. I don't know what they're going to do. Supposedly all the races are going to get allied races that kind of match up with them in a way or whatever. But no, I mean, it's cool. I don't care. I like my blood elves. I don't like Nightborn because they look too much like night elves and fuck those hippies. So I'm Horde. I'm Horde through and through. I don't want anything on Horde that looks like Alliance.
No.
I don't want night elves on Alliance. Night elves are stupid looking.
You literally are Horde through and through. Everything in your life is black
red
and red.
black. Yeah,
Right.
I want to get a Horde vinyl for the car.
You will.
But I'm sure I will. But no, I don't want
You know where you need a Horde vinyl is on the back of that chair.
Yeah, it would be cool. Well, although I'm big and fat, so I never get seen.
Back.
Oh, the back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not that anyone would see it but me, but still cool.
That'd be cool. But anyway, so, no, I don't want Alliance races on the thing. So, no, I like my blood elves, and I'm cool with that.
I like my humans.
However, now
and my mages.
There is a new race that's an NPC race that's coming to Battle for Azeroth, which I know Amy is very excited about because it's basically a fox.
Oh, really?
It takes the it's a bipedal fox. It takes the animation and movement of the goblins, but it's just an NPC right now. But a lot of people want it as a playable race.
Oh, yeah.
So because it's badass looking.
I can see that happening.
The only problem is because now what would you do there? Because I mean, you could make them like the pandas, where they're neutral, but the biggest issue is that you've got your little people on Alliance with the gnomes, and you've got your goblins.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the goblins, though. I mean, you have a few people who like the goblins, but I like them because they do the Soldier Boy dance, and it's really funny. But other than that, I don't care. Like, I think my rogue is a goblin because it makes sense.
Right. Now, do you think that these are all here to, I mean, obviously to breathe new life in the game consistently over and over and over again. But for people who have played the game for a long time and are set in their ways.
No, people are pretty excited. They have different racials.
Are people always going to change, though? I mean, you're not going to change. I'm not going to change.
I might level a Tauren just because the Tauren doesn't look like a stupid cow anymore.
Yeah. So
like, I like the antlers.
So you'll have a tune that's
yeah.
another side character,
like what I
but
might
you'll
do,
always go back to the Blood Elf, right?
Because, like, I don't want to play Alliance because I'll feel dirty.
But I'm so clean.
But what I might do, actually, is go in and remove... Because they changed the leveling process. So I might go in and... I have my warrior is, I believe, a Blood Elf.
Yeah.
So what I might do is I might go in and strip down my warrior. Maybe not delete it, because they're going to have... I mean, we'll see when the extra character slots come in. But I might go in and redo my warrior as a High Mountain Tauren.
Yeah.
Or maybe change my druid up.
But ultimately, after that, you'll
Actually,
end up back being the Blood Elf again, right?
The druid would probably be the best bet because the High Mountain Tauren also get all the different druid forms.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you'd get the most out of it with druid. It's not so much the Blood Elf, it's the Paladin. And in Horde...
So regardless of race, the Paladin's going to be your main
Yeah,
anyway.
oh yeah, easily. And with Horde, you have two options for Paladin, Blood Elf and Tauren. Now, when Horde first got Paladin back in 07 with Burning Crusade, the Tauren couldn't be Paladin. It could only be Blood Elf. So, but on the Alliance side, you had humans and dwarves who could be Paladins. So there was always that fight for contention of, give us a second Paladin race. Because, the Blood Elves were the pretty Horde class, right? Because Horde was ugly up till then. You had your orcs, your hunchback orcs. You had your trolls. You had, your Tauren, your undead. So the Horde...
Did you have the option to have orcs be fell touched or not? Green or brown?
You can change their skin color. I don't know if they have one that's brown. There might be one that's less touched. One that wasn't quite as molested by the fell.
Touched by the fell.
Touched by a fell. The new series from Blizzard. Touched by a fell. But no, so they were all ugly, right? And that was my big contention with the Horde, is I don't like playing ugly characters. I didn't play ugly characters in EverQuest. In WoW, you were only... in Ultima, you were only human. And going all the way back to 04 with the launch of WoW, that was my biggest contention, was there were no neutral races. EverQuest, I believe, did it right, where you had, and ESO does it well as well, where you have your two factions. You had, we'll stick with WoW lore. You have your Alliance and your Horde. You would have your factions. You would have your races that were specifically Alliance, your races that were specifically Horde, and then you would have a small pool in the middle that could be either based off what you chose.
Right.
Kind of like what they do with the Pandaren. The Pandaren, you get to level 10 on their little turtle island, and then you pick.
Right.
The humans should have been that way, because humans are finicky and generic and wishy-washy enough to where they could go either way.
No, I totally
and know damn well that if Blizzard or if Warcraft was real, that there would be humans that would join the Horde, and I know that because I would be one of them.
Yeah,
because fuck the Alliance.
If I could be Horde and human, that might work for me. But I mean, look at Medivh. Like, is that not a prime example of that?
He's neutral. He's Kirin Tor.
If you watch the movie, is he not for the Horde?
The movie isn't canon.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter. The movie isn't canon. They had Dalaran floating long before Arthas ever even existed.
I know all the idiosyncrasies
The movie is not canon.
It doesn't matter. From what people see,
I don't give a shit about episode. I don't care about episode 8.
If
I don't care about Rogue One.
If they're gonna go that way with the movie, though,
not my Warcraft.
Doesn't matter.
Not my Warcraft.
So you don't like the movie now?
No, I love the movie. It's great fanfic. It's not canon. The movie's wonderful. I have it. I watch it in 4K at least once a month because it's awesome to see characters I love come to life. It's not canon.
That's what made me play the game.
It is, and I thank it for that because, it's a good game. I like that helped. That really cemented that strap to PC gaming for you, I think.
It didn't hurt that Travis Fimmel and Ben Foster were in it because those are two of my favorite character actors. So, in Marvel news, the new Ant-Man and Wasp trailer dropped. Haven't watched it yet.
I haven't either. Yeah, it dropped at the Black Panther premiere, right?
Did it?
I think so. Did you see the Ant-Man and Wasp were at the Black Panther premiere?
I did not.
There was a little sign that said Ant-Man, and then they had an Ant-Man and Wasp on it. An ant and a wasp on it.
So it premiered. When does it actually release? I know it's not a movie that you care to see, but I'm going to see it.
I don't care. February? I don't know. I really don't care. Let's see. Black Panther. February 16th.
Cool.
I mean,
there's nothing out right now that I really want to see.
More than likely, if you're that hell bent on wanting to see it, I'm sure I'll end up going to see it with you, and then we can talk about it on the show. Because I'm sure it'll be good. I just don't care about the character.
Well,
like
again, it's kind of like Cap, right? Where he was just, or Iron Man even. Iron Man cemented Marvel in the movies, but in the comics, he was just, all those characters were just,
Right.
All through the 90s, it was all about the X-Men, but obviously they couldn't do anything with that.
Right. But it's kind of in the same vein as like Wonder Woman. Like, I don't deny that Wonder Woman is probably an excellent movie, at least the first 2/3.
Well, I would say that Wonder Woman is an excellent movie in relation to the other DC movies.
Right.
But again...
But, like, I don't give two shits about Wonder Woman, so I have zero desire to see it.
Here's what I'll say about that. Like, I have seen it once.
Yeah.
Never bothered to watch it again.
Right.
The Marvel movies, I always revisit.
Right.
So... I mean, until they get their shit together, like everybody has talked about over and over and over again forever.
I revisited Batman vs. Superman once.
Not me.
Because when I bought the digital copy that put the deleted scenes back in, and it's not any better. So anyone that says like that additional 10 minutes of footage saves the movie,
right?
They didn't need to add footage. They needed to remove that the Martha moment.
Yeah.
And then that would fix the movie. Like Affleck's a good Batman. Cavill's a good Superman. I didn't mind Eisenberg as Luthor because I like my weird, wacky, high-pitched voice characters, right? I like it when they throw a curveball. But, like, man, that Martha thing was stupid. It's been over a year, and it still bugs me.
Yeah, it's irritating.
It's that bad.
Irritating, to say the least.
So, but sticking to movies, we either have or are very shortly getting a trailer for the new Cloverfield.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Cloverfield 4 is already in production.
Did you and I see 10 Cloverfield Lane together?
We did, and
it was a
good.
great movie.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next one. It got really weird reviews. Like
that happens to a lot of movies that I like lately,
it wasn't
though.
Bad, but it was like people, and I never saw the trailers for it, like that. So, but I guess did you know the trailer like spoiled the whole thing? Like
No.
in the trailer, like she's outside of the of
she?
the bunker, like and there's aliens in the sky.
No,
like,
I kind of went into that
in the
movie
trailer.
blind.
Yeah.
But it's like we talked about with Mike TV with music, like the same thing in movies. A lot of the movies that I love, get terrible reviews. Warcraft, that King Arthur movie, this 10 Cloverfield Lane. There's a lot of movies that are great that just don't get mainstream love.
What about
then you have The Last Jedi?
All right,
totally different thing.
Where do you fall on the Pacific Rim movie? Are you a kaiju fan?
Not really.
No.
I mean, I'm not against it. I'll go see it, but it's never been, you know.
I
do love giant robots, but I don't like the way that they're done in Pacific Rim.
Does the fact that John Boyega is in 2 entice you to see it all?
No, not a bit.
I mean, he can't be any worse than he is as Finn, right?
The problem with John Boyega being in that movie is that he's in that movie because he was in Star Wars.
Right.
So all these people that are hot right now because their Star Wars characters are going to be in other movies, but then they'll just go away. It doesn't make him a better actor because he was in Star Wars.
Right.
It just makes him the hot commodity right now.
Yeah, it's a name. It's a name drop.
Right.
It's like when Mick Foley says, "Here in Baltimore."
Right.
Yeah.
So you wait until the chick that plays Rey is in another movie. That movie will be hyped up. It's kind of like
she wasn't she?
If she was,
I
I
thought
don't know
she was
what
in
it
something
was.
between 7 and 8.
She may have been. It's like Hermione when Hermione did all these other movies Up in the Air, which was a good movie. But I mean, you know, it's just the thing, right?
Right.
Or Keira Knightley after Pirates, she was in a few movies.
Oh, she was in fucking everything. So Force Awakens was 2015. She was in Murder on the Orient Express in 2017.
Which got terrible reviews, and I'm probably going to love that movie when I get around to watching it.
The Eagle Huntress in 2016.
No idea.
She's apparently doing a voice in Peter. They're making a Peter Rabbit movie?
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
You haven't seen the trailer?
No.
Oh, you'll like
that's
it.
awesome.
It'll be right up your alley.
That's about it. That's it for worthwhile stuff. No. Okay, so speaking of trailers, I don't think we've talked about this. This might have dropped between... Because Friday didn't really count. So this might have dropped between today and our last episode. But have you seen the Red Band trailer for Super Troopers 2?
No,
It
I
is
haven't.
so good. I'm going to play it.
Why don't you play it?
I'm going to, because it's fucking awesome. Okay, so the best thing I can say is, do you know how Canadians are portrayed in South Park?
Yeah.
Take that and make it real life.
All right, I'm excited.
Without the drop jaw, obviously. They don't like perform surgery on the Canadians. But hold on. YouTube. I can't play video for you guys because then I'll get flagged. Obviously, but you guys can hear the audio. I want the Red Band trailer. There it is. It's so good. I can't believe you haven't seen it yet. I'm excited that I get to share this moment with you.
After the ad.
Once we skip this ad. Oh, it's 3.
David, I need you. You're embarrassing me.
All right, here we go. It's so good.
Seriously, cut the crap, guys. I'm not a rookie anymore. Get these off me.
Boop. Whoa.
Rabbit, it's not like we want to shave your balls. Thorny, do you want to shave his balls?
Me? Hell no.
Foster?
No way.
You don't want to shave his balls, do you, Farva?
Hell yeah, I do.
No.
God damn it, we gotta get out of there. Come on! Bullshit, who ordered these? I can't feel my tits.
License and registration?
Aren't you the two that pulled me over before?
Beg pardon?
How are you Mounties now? Or should I say Meownties?
Hang on. Do you really not remember this guy? You're just fucking with him.
Yeah, I have no idea who he is.
You know, I heard everything you said.
Son of a bitch. We've been doing that for years.
Okay, that's not it. Hold on. There's a full one.
That was a good teaser, though.
Trailer number 2. Here we go. Yeah, this is the one that's almost 3 minutes. Son of a bitch. We've been doing that for years.
Let's do it.
They've been waiting for a second chance. Waiting for their country to need them again. That time is Meow.
What do you guys give me if I kill that bird? Barbara, that's a bald eagle. Get away, Baldy! Yeah! Guys, what do I win?
A one-way ticket to hell.
It turns out the French-Canadian town Saint-Georges-du-Laurent is actually on American soil. You'll be phasing out a Canadian Mountie unit.
Best behavior, boys.
Not our idea of a good time either, fellas. Personally, I'd rather fuck a moose.
You would need a ladder to do that. Wow.
See?
Let's give a big Canadian welcome to the Vermont Highway Patrol.
Come on, guys. They've come up here to tell us how great it's going to be for all of us to become Americans.
Repeat after me. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Learn the words!
This is happening.
Est-ce que vous savez à quelle vitesse vous allez?
Do neither of you speak English?
I do. We would like to eat your papers.
Can you show me your party papers?
This time, everything will be by the book. Everything.
What the fuck are you guys doing? Hey, Tim Hortons ghost.
What can I get for you guys? Cold beer? Liter of cola?
What did you say?
Do you want a liter of cola?
Canada's pretty awesome.
Don't do that.
Should I shoot him?
Who, Fava?
Frère Jacques Grey pour Paul Marquis de Saturette. Feather Duster, Croissant, Les Misérables, Felt Catcher, Luc Robitaille, D'Artagnan, Perrier, Friend Tarkenton, Peanut Buster, Parfait. Eau de toilette. Eau de doudadin.
Oh, all the hijinks. So many hijinks.
Like I said, they basically take the South Park Canadians and make them real. I love how they all have the thickest Canadian accent.
Of course it comes out on 420. Let's appeal to the masses, shall we?
Great Tim Hortons Ghost. I want it to be my new thing. Great Tim Hortons Ghost.
Yeah, that's funny. I'll be going to see that.
The fact that Rob Lowe is in it is wonderful. Yeah, I think, other than the Solo movie, which is a month later, I think that is one of my few must-see opening weekends.
Right.
So I wonder if the theater is going to smell like weed.
Probably. It'll look like it does in here, but it won't be vape. What else we got?
Cars.
Oh, yes, cars.
We talked a little bit about it on Friday.
I got a car.
I actually have
you
mine
got a
now.
car. We got a car. It's the same car, but we each have one. Honda Civics. SIs. Black. They're fast.
They are. It's nice. I like it. But yeah, other than that, no, nothing. Oh, I picked up Monster Hunter World on Xbox One.
Oh, that was how I was going to end the show. Is what are you playing? Because I'm still playing Ghost Recon, so I've got nothing.
Right. Yeah.
You as always are playing something different.
Yeah. So so as I mentioned, and new car payment, right? So that's going to be a thing for me that kind of this year is my new 2 or 3 new video games every show to talk about is not going to happen. I've got maybe a half a dozen big ones. Battle for Azeroth, obviously. Far Cry 5, more than likely Madden 19, the staples. The new Call of Duty, especially this year because it's going to be Treyarch. I'm so fucking pumped. But yeah, so other than that, I'm not going to get a lot of stragglers this year. But so I got Monster Hunter World, our little friend Tony.
Good callback, Corey.
Monster. Jesus, Corey. So he was like, hey, you should get it. What are you getting it on? And I was going to get it on PC because it's coming out on PC this fall. I'm like, PC. He's like, not till fall. I'm like, I know. He's like, so what are you getting it on? I'm like, well, so ended up being, long story short, I decided to just grab it on Xbox. I'm like, you know what? I got the car. I'm going to have my first car payment next month. I'm going to have my last real kind of whimsical purchase. And I bought it. It's a lot of fun. I like it. It's a little old school in its controls, which isn't a knock at its development. It's a knock at the style it's going for. The lock-on is very basic. So it does have the weapon damaging system like I had talked about. It's not as stupid as Breath of the Wilds, where your weapon just gets destroyed. What I realized playing it yesterday, though, is at any point in time, you can pull out a whetstone and repair your weapon. But it freezes you in place. So you have to sit and do it. You can't do it in battle. The more that I also realized, one of the big things that I was fighting and I couldn't kill, the more you research animal tracks and the more you kill smaller versions of animals and stuff, or monsters, you end up learning almost like a dossier about the big monsters, and you discover weaknesses and things like that. Like one of the big ones, he eats smaller monsters, and when he eats smaller monsters, his belly grows almost like a bullfrog. But you attack the belly and it makes him vomit and it weakens him. So there are different things here and there, but it's cool. You can do a hunting party. You can be in a private session with up to 16 friends. Now you can only venture out in groups of 4, but you can all be in the same game together, which is pretty fucking cool. So I like it. Cool. The characters look cool. The controls are a lot of fun.
It's a Japanese game.
Very, very much so.
Yeah,
it is a grind.
Something
fest.
about those that's cool. I mean, it like Devil May Cry, hack and slash.
Yeah,
that's cool. There's something about the aesthetic of a Japanese game. I just don't care for it that much.
Yeah, it feels very much like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, see,
it's got the airships. It's got the overly excited teenage-esque, early 20s,
and the weirdo voice acting.
Yeah, I mean, it's there. You could tell they kind of haphazardly put the English dubbing in because the animation doesn't match up.
Right.
It's just, I don't even really listen to it so much. I just kind of read the subtitles.
Yeah. So, I don't know. As I watch you play, which I'm sure I will, while I look over the top of my laptop and see what you're doing, I'm sure I'll be intrigued, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
No, it's fun. It's not a play it for 20, 30, 40 hours. At least not for me.
Right.
It's a play for a few hours, kill a few monsters. It's a fun play it over time type thing.
Can you draw parallels between that and Horizon Zero Dawn? Similar, dissimilar?
Honestly, if I'm going to draw, and people have been doing this and people are getting flack for it, so don't take it take it with a grain of salt. But if I'm going to draw any parallels with what I've played, it's with Dark Souls.
Really?
Because the combat is not hand-holdy at all, and it's hard. Cousin
Steve would love or hate you for saying that.
It's not as unforgiving as Dark Souls. You can feint and you don't lose anything, right? But the combat is there's a lot of evading and dodging and rolling, and there's weak points that you have to learn, especially as you get to higher monsters. There's a T-Rex-esque thing that you end up fighting, but he has a bone on his head, and that's how you damage him, is you have to get him to go down to bite you, but then evade it and roll around and break the bone on his head so you can damage him, because the bone is his armor. So there are tactics in that way. It's not nearly as unforgiving as Dark Souls. You are timed on your quests. I haven't found any yet where the time is an issue. All the ones I've seen so far are 50 minutes. If it takes you 50 minutes to complete a quest, then you're not trying. It's you don't level up. There is no character level. Your strength and everything is all purely in your gear. You can modify and upgrade your gear based off of parts and resources that you find. So like as you're fighting, like, okay, so the giant lizard thingy that I was fighting, right? He's a great something. I forget what they're called. You end up getting his hide and his scales, and I can use his hide and his scales to make a version of my sword and shield that makes it stronger.
That's cool.
So, yeah. So, and that's where all your strength comes in.
So Steve has been raving about Bloodborne, and he said that that's dropping or has dropped. I don't even know what that is.
Bloodborne is the PS4 exclusive. It's Dark Souls. I loved it. It's the only From Software game I've ever finished. It's amazing. It's Dark Souls based in an old English setting. I'll show it to you. I have it on PS4.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Is it new?
No, it's a couple years old.
I don't know if he's talking about a remaster or what, because he said...
Well, it wouldn't be a remaster. I hear Bloodborne 2 is rumored. I don't know if it was confirmed, but Bloodborne 2 was rumored.
Yeah, he said tomorrow is Bloodborne Day. What? He said that yesterday for today.
Oh, so maybe Bloodborne 2 is getting dropped today. Maybe it won't be console exclusive.
No idea, because that's all he said.
I would love to see Bloodborne 2, because Bloodborne 1 was, again, it's the only From Software I ever finished. And it's got infinite replay value, because after you beat the game, there are randomly generated dungeons that you can go through, and the game is fucking hard.
Yeah, that's what he says. He always is up my ass to play it. Oh, it's too bad you're not a fan, but it's not your type of game. Well, how do you know? Never played it. I might like it.
I picture you in one of two boats. I picture you loving it and having it be the only thing you play for a while, or I picture you breaking a controller.
Well, I'm too old and have no fight left in me. I don't think I'll break a controller. I might play it for a minute and be like, well, fuck this.
You haven't played it. No. It'll be on like your 50th attempt on the first boss.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. It's not easy.
Is it that or Demon Souls? Are they the same?
Okay, so Demon Souls was PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah.
It became Dark Souls, which was multi-platform.
Is it the game where you die and you're dead?
Well, it's not that you die and you're dead. It's that, okay, so it's blood in Bloodborne. It's souls in Bloodborne 2 is listed as Q3. Okay, awesome. I'm like almost goosebumpy. That's so fucking... Does it say in that listing that you saw, is it multi-plat or is it once again PlayStation 4 exclusive? Because if they follow the same routine as Dark Souls, Demon Souls, it'll be PlayStation exclusive and then multi-plat. So I'm wondering if they're going multi-plat with Bloodborne 2. So anyway, so you collect souls as you fight things, right? You cannot use those souls until you go back to camp and use them. However, when you go back to camp, all the monsters reset. So you can't like fight your way up to a boss, go back and collect all your souls to get your experience, and then go right back to the boss. You've got to fight through all them again. So you have to do it all in one shot. When you die, you go back to camp. Every soul you've earned since the last time you committed souls drops on the ground. You have to get back to it to collect it. If you don't get back to it, or if you die again before getting back to it, every single one of those souls is gone. So again, unforgiven.
So a lot of space to be irritated.
Oh, it took
Is
me...
this the game that has like campfires in it?
Yes, it's campfires in Dark Souls. It's lanterns in Bloodborne.
So in the very beginning of the game, you like fight this weird like bridge troll looking thing inside of a castle.
Dark Souls 1.
I've played that.
Yeah.
And died.
Oh,
over
yeah.
and over and over.
Yeah. And Bloodborne, it doesn't say in the article, but figures since Sony owns the Bloodborne. Oh, Sony owns the Blood. You know what? That might be why they changed Demon Souls. I didn't realize Sony owned it. Thank you for the update. No, I didn't realize. So I bet you Sony owned Demon Souls, and that's why they went Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So maybe Bloodborne 2 is PlayStation exclusive. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I think Dark Souls is a huge fan base. I don't know why they should have kept it Blood After Birth.
Placenta born.
Jesus. Blood placenta. I think mine was worse.
So I know this isn't That Was Awesome, but to end the show, I'll say Ronda Rousey.
Okay, here's my thing. I liked it exactly how they did it. I was on the phone with Austin for about a half hour, 45 minutes the other day talking about this. Because obviously being a big anime Asian lover, he's super pumped with Who Won the Rumbles.
Right.
They executed it perfectly.
Did you hear the interview she did after?
I hear she's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, she needs to be... they need to do the UFC thing, and they need to have her be a Heyman girl.
Oh my God, yeah, that's a great idea.
And then you have it be Heyman. Heyman has Brock. Heyman has Ronda.
That is,
and they do a mixed match challenge.
See, again with stables, like,
right?
Good idea.
And then
that's how that
get
has
the
to
chick
be.
from NXT who's also an ex-UFC fighter. Just make like a former UFC stable. They could be essentially the new NWO.
Why aren't we
especially
writing
with Heyman? Huh?
Why aren't we
'Cause
writing
we're
for
too
them?
smart?
God damn.
Vince doesn't want people smarter than him.
God damn.
That's why he fired Vince Russo. So they executed it perfectly. And the reason that they executed it perfectly is because if they wait till Monday for her to come out, they piss off everybody who watches the Rumble because they do that all the time. That would have sucked. If they have her come out during the Rumble or in the Rumble, one of two things happens. Either she wins, which completely takes all the steam out of Asuka.
Yeah, which won't happen.
It also delegitimizes the women's Rumble because you have a woman who just showed up who was not responsible in any way. She might be responsible for helping women be taken more seriously in sports because she's badass. But she partook in no way whatsoever with the WWE Women's Revolution. Having her win the Rumble is a slap in the face to all of them.
I totally agree.
If you have her lose, then you take all of her steam and no one cares like they did with Ziggler.
Right.
I was watching Cultaholic.com's Royal Rumble review, and they were like, man, like, what did Dolph do to piss Vince off? Because like he makes this big triumphant return and he's gone in 10 seconds. I mean, he lasted longer than Sheamus.
Yeah, but still.
So anyway, so they did what they had to do. Now everyone's like, oh, she stole the spotlight. She stole her moment, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing with me, with wrestling fans, being one myself. I'm a soap opera junkie, not like daytime, not my stories.
You don't like Days of Our Lives?
No, I don't.
There's
but
demons.
I like the story.
You missed out on Marlena being possessed by a demon.
I like this. Like, I loved Scrubs. Like, I like that soap opera-esque story in a non-stupidly cheesy setting. So
Maison Blanche was not stupid.
So I love all the background stuff of WWE. I like the car rides. I like watching them. Like, I like watching two actors compete in a ring and then at the bar have a beer together.
Yeah, I agree.
I do like in the indie setting that they keep the kayfabe a little bit. Like, people like MJF is clearly his character on Twitter always, right? But I like the kayfabe breaking. So what bugs me is when, okay, so The Miz, one of my all-time favorites, just recently recaptured the IC belt, right? And obviously you see the Facebook posts. And people go on the Facebook post are like, Miz, you suck. You have to cheat to win. You realize it's scripted, right? It's fake.
Right.
He doesn't have to cheat to win. He's playing a role. He's acting.
At the very least,
If
the
you
fans
look-
can play along, but when it's a post like that, you look like an idiot.
If you look at the warning, it says these are actors playing roles and do not necessarily represent their actual opinions.
Right.
It says it right in the goddamn warning at the start of the show. They are actors.
Yeah.
So stop. You're dumb. So anyone that says that Rhonda stole her moment, piss off, because you're either a retard or that they were all hanging out back.
Right.
They were talking about this.
Dude, if you look on
Asuka
Instagram, they all have backstage photos together. It's fucking obvious.
Asuka knew this was going to happen. Stephanie knew it was going to happen. Like, everyone knew. No one's moment was stolen. This was planned. Stop being a fucking mark. Like, no. Like, it's a show.
Right.
Like, you know, when Sheldon does something to Leonard on Big Bang Theory, you don't get mad at Jim Parsons. Calm the fuck down. It's a show. It's acting. It's fake.
Right. But that's half the allure
Fuck
of watching
people.
it, is for people to do that. So I wonder what it's going to do to her image, whereas last year she was the top dog in all of entertainment. And then she lost a couple fights, and nobody likes her anymore. Now she's in wrestling, and people shit on her for it.
You want to get on Ronda for anything about the Royal Rumble? Get on her about how many fucking times she pointed at the WrestleMania sign.
Even then, though, it's a show. Someone told her to do that shit.
No, I don't think so.
I think she was just super excited to be there and got anxious and carried away.
I'm sure that they had rehearsals before the show.
I don't think they said point at the show, put at the sign 8 times.
What probably happened is they gave her a mic, and then they realized, oh, this is probably not a great idea. Why don't you just point, honey? Was she? I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown.
I didn't either.
So I don't know if she showed up or what.
I don't know.
But as far as I know, she's full time. So we'll see.
Yeah. She's got nothing else going for her.
Fuck no.
Whatever. But no, I think if they can convince Brock to be full time and not be a part time champion, and they can have Ronda team up with Heyman.
Well, that's half the problem is they have absentee champions. When you looked at the end of the Rumble and it came down to Cena and fucking Reigns, and then
Cena, Reigns, Nakamura, Balor.
Right, and everybody was pissed and the crowd turned against Reigns and Cena. Obviously, they want the people that are there every night.
Well, I mean, Reigns is there every night, but no one likes him.
Yeah, but fuck Reigns. I mean,
Cena's part-time. What do you think about what they're doing with the Elimination Chamber and the fact that Brock isn't in it and they're not for the belt? And the first ever women's Elimination Chamber.
First ever women's I'm into.
Once again, thank you. I called it.
Yeah,
Fucking
you did.
Christ.
You totally did.
Again,
we need jobs there. So the men's, well, I don't know. You're kind of negating the need for it. What is the reason?
Now, here's the thing. Because it goes along with Nakamura winning the Rumble, maybe the men's Elimination Chamber is for the number 1 contender spot at WrestleMania.
Maybe.
That would work.
Maybe. So what happens between then and like Rumble and then? The winner of the Rumble gets to choose a champion, right?
Yeah, he chose AJ.
So they go for the belt
the
before
dream fucking match.
Before Mania.
What do you mean?
I mean, if
Elimination Chamber's Raw. It's a Raw pay-per-view.
So what was Rumble? SmackDown?
Rumble was multi.
So then where's your number 1 contendership coming from? If you win the Elimination Chamber and you have number 1 contendership, but you also win the Rumble, who's going for the belt?
Well, that's why they're doing it that way. Because you have Nakamura who won the Rumble, who's SmackDown. Raw is Elimination Chamber.
Right, but if Rumble was multi...
Rumble was multi. Nakamura won the Rumble.
I get it.
So we could just call it SmackDown.
Then it doesn't matter. Like, it's pointless.
Well, no, because Elimination Chamber's Raw.
Why are you going to have 2 different pay-per-views with number 1 contendership?
That's why it's scripted. Because it just happens to be the Elimination Chamber is necessary because there's no number 1 contender for Raw.
You're just playing point-counterpoint with me now.
I am.
It's irritating.
I'm sorry.
No, right.
I get what you're saying. I don't know. I mean, here's my only contention with that. For as long as Mr. McMahon has Reigns up his ass, like if Reigns,
don't you think it's fucked up that he has Reigns up his ass, but he'll take somebody like Dolph and shit on him?
Well, Dolph sucks. Fuck Dolph.
Dolph is amazing.
No. You know what Dolph is? Dolph is the bastard baby of an orgy of like all the '90s wrestlers.
I know.
That's all he is. He
is Heartbreak Kid
Billy Gunn
reincarnated.
He even does the stupid strike up the band stomp.
I know he does.
He does the Famouser.
He does the Famouser. He does Sweet Chin Music. He does all of it.
His gimmicks have been nothing but stupid.
I know. He could be an amalgam. He could be great.
I would rather see Heath Slater get a title.
You're going to tell me that Dolph is less talented than Reigns?
I'm not saying he's less talented. I'm saying they're all talented. Reigns is talented. They're all their character, and Dolph is annoying. At least Heath Slater has a purpose. He's got kids, man. I can get behind Heath Slater. I also got kids. You know what Dolph is? Dolph is a pretty boy with a bad character. He's Michaels with no charisma. That's what Dolph is. Now,
so then I go back 5 minutes and ask you why you even bothered to say why he's on Vince's bad side in the Rumble. All that comment, it was all pointless.
Well, there we go. But yeah, no.
So for the listeners, this is why you should be wrestling fans, because it just breeds irritating conversation.
It does. Yeah, no, wrestling's great.
There's always something to bitch about, and you can always debate.
Yep, because everyone's got a side. It's just like WoW, man. And actually, it's very much WoW. You've got your red and blue. You got your Horde and Alliance, your Raw SmackDown. You've got results that don't matter.
And you know what else is funny? We're sitting here arguing about like Reigns and Dolph, right? Total aside characters. Fuck both of them. I don't even like either one of them, really.
Oh, yeah, it's Nakamura AJ. I'm so fucking pumped for WrestleMania.
Right, when it comes to people I like, those two, Balor, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to love WrestleMania because we're going to get Nakamura AJ. I'm going to be bummed about WrestleMania because they're going to take the title off Miss Bliss, and that doesn't make me happy.
I wonder how long that'll last.
I love Asuka. And I'm excited to see that match because they're both very talented in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Bliss is Bliss. You don't take the belt off.
No.
And can I just tell you how much I love? Like people hate it, but I love what they're doing with her and Strowman.
With the mixed tag deal.
I don't care about the matches. I care about their behind the scenes.
Yeah, their behind the scenes stuff is great.
Like the fact that he's like what was it when she got snubbed by somebody and she went running back to Braun and told him, and like she's like he's snubbed. He's like, what do you want me to do? She's like, I want you to get him. So he stood up. He goes, Braun smash. And went out to the ring and beat the fuck out of the guy. I'm like, I love the fact that like he's her little pet, and like it's great.
Yeah, that's great. Cool. So I think we're at an hour.
Yeah, roughly, we're about there.
I have to poop.
Thanks for the update.
For all of you listening. Just going to record from the bathroom from now on.
But yeah, no. So upcoming. We didn't do a Indie Case Files Monday. I was tired. I got my car Monday night, and I was at the dealership for almost 4 hours, and Amy was not feeling well at all. So we did not do an Indie Case Files on Monday. Indie Case Files will be returning this Monday. We start our Valentine's episodes because it's February. So for the first week of February, for the first show of February, I should say, because it's bi-weekly show. The first show of February, I will be doing Dream Daddy Dating Simulator.
Wow.
And
Dream Daddy Dating Simulator.
Actually, I think it's Dream Daddy 2. And I don't know if Amy has pulled... she's doing a pet dating simulator. She's got a couple cat ones and a bird one. I don't think she's quite decided yet.
So the pets date each other?
No, you are the only human that exists in the realm of animals, and you date the animals.
So it's bestiality.
It's bestiality. It's
Wow.
a bestiality dating sim. And then for the second episode of February, which February is a short month, so we're only going to get 2 in, we are both going to do Doki Doki something something. If she's still listening, she can say it. And it's a horror game masked as a dating sim. And it's all anime. So...
That sounds interesting.
I want to say Doki Doki Revolution, but I think that's just Dance Dance Revolution.
I just want to say Doki Doki. Doki Doki.
Oh my God. Can we look
Doki Doki Literature Club.
There we go. Thank you. The Super Bowl happens in like 4 days, 5 days, 4 days, 4.5 days. Can I just tell you how happy I am for it to be over and for the Patriots to win? I don't even care at this point. You know what would make me happier? I don't care if Philly wins at this point. I just can't wait for all this fucking dilly shit to be over with.
You don't like the dilly dilly,
No,
eh?
it's fucking stupid.
Dilly dilly.
Now, it was funny on the strip club sign when it said dilly dilly, Roger's silly. Like, that was funny. But no, it's dumb. Get over it. They have, I wonder how much money Dairy Queen is making on dilly bars right now.
Right. That's funny.
Too bad it's wintertime.
I got to hand it to them, though. All their slogans, man, they catch on. They've had a few.
Oh, we didn't talk about the XFL.
Oh, the XFL. Alpha. So that's coming in 2020.
Yeah.
And it's like crowdsourced football. Vince wants to know what we want to see as fans in football.
Yeah, and he's already come out and said that he's going to force everyone to stand for the flag, which
Stand for the
makes
flag.
me not care.
If you have any drug-related problems, you're out.
Any criminal history.
Any
criminal history gone.
And he said he's going to simplify the game of football, which I'm not sure
pretty
how you can
simple.
do that.
It's simple if you know it. It's not hard. I mean, what's he going to cut down on rules?
Football, yes, there's a lot of rules, but football is the easiest game to get into, man.
Football and baseball?
Yeah, but baseball is like watching flies fuck. It's just fucking boring. The only time I watch fucking baseball is in the series when they're in like 14 innings. And when's the last time that happened? Like 02?
You want to make baseball entertaining? Watch it after watching golf all day.
I'm more entertained by golf,
Really?
but I also grew up playing golf.
Oh, then watch it after watching NASCAR all day.
I don't want to turn left for hours.
Exactly. Now let me qualify that with NASCAR without accidents, because NASCAR with accidents is fucking entertaining.
That's entertaining.
Like, I just want to watch like a highlight reel.
Right.
Like, I don't care about everything else.
I totally agree. So that'll be exciting. I definitely think the Pats will win.
There's a bunch of bets, like the Portland, Maine mayor and the Portland, Philadelphia mayor, or Portland, Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is
Philadelphia is a place.
Yeah.
It's in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. There we go. Not Portland, Philadelphia. Portland, Pennsylvania. I was having a mind blank on what the actual state was called.
It's a city within
Pennsylvania. Yeah. So Portland, Pennsylvania, and Portland, Maine mayors have made bets. Bangor, Maine, and Bangor, Pennsylvania have made bets. And Boston and Philly have made bets. Now, from what I hear, the bet for Boston and Philly on if New England wins is on the Rocky statue. If New England wins, the Rocky statue goes to Boston. So
I don't even know what to say about that. That would be so ridiculous.
That would be cool.
So there's two of those Rocky statues. You know who owns the other one?
Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. It's in his fucking entryway.
That's not surprising.
No. No.
I can't imagine it would be there permanently. My guess is it would go to Boston and they like have it for the parade.
Yeah, that would be my assumption.
Yeah.
Well, there
we go. Now it's about an hour.
Yeah.
We filled it at the end. Yeah, and then so again, fuck, mind blank. I'm having that. That's the only problem with morning shows. My brain hasn't fully woken up yet.
Well, the only problem I'm having right now is prairie dogging.
All right, so really quick, Jesus.
I mean, I could keep going, but
Indie Case Files with sappy, funny, comical, romantic games.
Bestiality games.
Mind of a Geek is coming up this Friday, as always. Tawny Plattis from the Dirty Bits podcast is this Friday, and then returning favorite, Mr. JF Dubow.
Oh, JF.
Follows that up. He'll be talking about books, I'm guessing.
I'm excited to see how we keep him at an hour.
I don't think we're going to.
It's probably not going to happen.
We're just going to have to cut it, and then we'll just
Right.
make it a Twitch show. Because I'll cut it for the audio stream.
Just do a few episodes of it. Here's JF part 1.
That's what I should do. I should just do like evergreen episodes where like we don't talk about specific things.
Yeah.
And then just like if we miss an episode, just upload a JF thing.
Yeah, you should.
Like I won't actually.
You can just do best of episodes.
I
and
won't
have JF
ever
do it.
I won't ever actually schedule him. We'll find times where we record like 6 hours of audio, and it will be like filler for when we miss episodes.
Right. That's a good idea. Now we know
No
what the
guest-
F in JF stands for.
No, just filler. No episode this week. Here's an hour of JF.
Yep.
But no,
And those will be the most downloaded ones.
I respect him too much for that. He's a good guy.
I respect him enough for that. I have faith that he can fill the show when we're not doing one.
Look, Dice Tomato with the auto host right when we're going to end. Thank you, Dice. Appreciate it. I'm guessing the Dice Tomato auto host means that TMS went off the air because he usually auto hosts Frog Pants. But hey, I'm cool with that. Well, welcome for the 4 viewers that are coming from Dice Tomato's auto host.
Yeah, welcome to the outro.
Welcome to the outro, yeah. But yeah, so that's the filler. So Indie Case Files, Mind of a Geek. That was awesome. We'll be coming back soon. Like I said, it's going to be more indie focused. So I think...
what are we thinking on that? Like after the next Limitless show or what?
That's kind of my thought. I was thinking about talking to Troy and talking to Main State Posse about having their interviews be on That Was Awesome and not Mind of a Geek. And yeah, I'm going to get a Tascam recorder so I can record stuff like at shows and get like event things. What I would love to do is have Randy have the ring announcer bring my recorder into the ring. Like I'm not going to ask to go in the ring.
Right.
And I want it would be cool to have to get him to, like, before the show, get him to get the audience's attention, to have him go, this podcast episode is scheduled for 1 hour, and then have the entire crowd go, 1 hour.
That would be cool.
I don't know if he will. I talked to Amy about doing some VO for it because I want to have like intro for us and do the podcast as 1 hour thing. So I want to make it fun and over the top, like indie wrestling.
We're fun and over the top anyway.
But yeah, so that'll be coming back soon. So I don't know if we'll wait until March 30th, just because it's a month and a half away, or it's 2 months away.
Right.
So I don't know. Well, a month and a half. February is half a month.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we'll wait quite that long. But I mean, we'll see. It's coming back. Because I want to work on new intro music too. Because it doesn't make sense to have like old '90s wrestling stars. What's up, Growly? You are late. We are signing off, sir. It doesn't make sense to have like '90s intro music for like indie wrestling.
No,
but we'll figure it out. It'll be revamped. We're gonna do all new artwork once again. Miss Amy's gonna work on artwork for us. So we're gonna have all new artwork for That Was Awesome, and it'll be fun and cool when it comes back. And there'll be announcements. Follow TWA Podcast on I think it's TWA Podcast. February is only half a month. I'm like 99.9% sure it's TWA Podcast on Twitter. Let me double check before I send you off in case anybody is interested in following. Yes, it is. So at TWA Podcast on Twitter. Yeah, if you are into wrestling and if you're into indie wrestling and lots of really cool, fun stuff and interviews, make sure you follow that because the guys are really cool and they're a lot of fun.
Growly, did you catch the blue blood moon? Because I definitely did not see it, but I'm in the wrong part of the country.
The blue blood moon, is that the moon that's over Greenwich, Connecticut?
That's hilarious. A blue blood moon. A big red blue moon. Go figure that out for yourself.
And how appropriate is it that his name is in purple on our chat?
Right?
Red and blue.
That's correct.
All right. It is very rare. I like my steaks rare.
I do too. You know what we haven't had in a long time is tips, man.
Nothing but the tip.
We got to get the tips. I need your tips. Why do you have more than one tips?
I need to, because I'm an alien.
Tip, parentheses.
I need a new grill. So.
Well, that'll come down the pike as we get further along in the year.
I'm sure it will. Yeah, it's not the time of year to buy one right now.
No. Well, maybe it's cheap. Who knows?
Well, no, it's not cheap. Now is when everyone buys them for the spring.
Not
so,
me.
like, they've got them.
I buy them when the snow's gone.
Yeah. So, anyway, that'll do it. So, you can catch the show live Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time at inkedgeekstudios.tv or twitch.tv/inkedgeekstudios, whatever you prefer. Come hang out in the chat room if you do listen to the show on podcast form. If you're listening to us on iTunes, it would be great if you leave us a 5-star review. I do want to give a big shout out and thanks to David Ginsburg from Tales of the Fandom for leaving a 5-star review on the Mind of a Geek podcast. That was really cool. I don't know if I ever formally thanked people. So just because they're here, and I don't want to snub them, thank you to Amy and Corey for leaving reviews there as well. Because you guys rock.
And thank you for being faithful fans.
Exactly. But yeah, so that'll do it. Again, Mind of a Geek Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Indie Case Files Monday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. All at that same address. And we'll see you guys on this show again next Wednesday. For Brandon, for myself, and for the rest of Inked Geek Studios. Thank you all very much for listening, and we will talk to you next week.
You've been listening to an Inked Geek Studios podcast. For this and other great shows, go to inkedgeekstudios.com.